So welcome to a new Game Stuff episode. And in the last Game Stuff episode, there was a few people that were upset that I talked a lot more about anime than I did about video games. I had a lot more anime to show. Where I'm very happy to say here, we have 80% Game Stuff and only 20% anime today, for sure. But the anime I will show will be very cool as well. But there's a lot of different items to get through today. There's a lot that I picked up, a lot that have been sent into the show from companies. We're going to get through all of this. First of all, we're going to start off with what I think is absolutely one of the games of the year, if not the game of the year, Red Dead Redemption 2. This game has absolutely blown me away. And the funny thing about this copy here is that I was sitting and I'm like, should I go and pick it up? Should I buy it digitally? What should I do? What should I do? Because Rockstar doesn't hand out review codes. They're very hard to get a hold of. I'll just say that. So I'm like, So I start looking around and I find out that there's a Best Buy near me and they're having a 9 o'clock launch for it because it gets launched at midnight in Eastern time. So I'm like, should I go? Should I go? Should I go? I'm like, oh, screw it. I'm going. So I went down there and I thought I was expecting a huge lineup and I walked in. There was only 6 people waiting, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And the last time I was at that Best Buy, I even said to one of the people online, I said, I think it was the Halo 3 launch. You know, when they used to go and there used to be huge lineups and it would be unbelievable. The last one I did was the Halo 3 launch for that game. And so I didn't wait that long, and I was like, I have to get the special edition for sure. And I came home, and I started playing it, and I got something to admit with this game. I didn't talk about it in my first thoughts videos on it. I started playing it, and it felt like Christmas morning. I think it was because of the snow environment and the opening of the entire game, and just how much fun I was having, and how much I was like, oh my god, this game is groundbreaking in a lot of ways. In its motion capture, there's been a lot of complaints. A lot of people think the controls are sluggish, and some of the storyline elements are not that good. I understand some of those things. But I think the sum of the game, the whole of the game, is greater than a small pieces here and there. To me, the whole thing comes together really, really well. The story, all the different side quests you can go on. This game is remarkable. It's remarkable, and this is fun. I'll give it a score right here. I'll give it a score, and I'm nowhere near the end, but I played quite a bit of it. 10 out of 10, without question. Without question. It's such a well-made game that you just have to appreciate it just from a technical point of view. And I've had so much fun with the game as well, and I hope a lot of you guys who picked up the game are having a lot of fun with it. I know I absolutely am, and game of the year. Absolutely game of the year. Now, this one may have been a contender of one of my games of the year when it originally came out. And I have to just talk about this for a second. I was on Game Dave's show, and we did a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat episode, and we talked about both of these games for about an hour. And near the end of the talk that we're having, Game Dave says, "Hey, do you remember a game called World Heroes?" And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Of course I remember World Heroes. World Heroes was a very important game for me, and I told the story about how back when it was released, I walked into an arcade and I saw it, and it was such a, it was kind of like Fatal Fury in the idea that it was an alternative to Street Fighter, because I like Street Fighter, but it was cool to see different kinds of fighting games out there, and World Heroes gave me that feeling, and it wasn't just like copying Street Fighter. It was its own thing with different fighters from around the world. Obviously, my favorite characters were Hanzo and Fuma. Love those characters. Fuma is my main in the game. I like the double jumps you could do in the game. I like the combo system, and I liked the combo system, and I really got addicted to it. And I got the second one, and that kind of expands upon that. But that first game, I remember walking in with a girlfriend of mine. I must have been 16 years old, and I saw it, and I was like, "What is this?" And it seemed so. I know it sounds stereotypical to say, but so cool and Japanese, because back then you didn't get a lot of, basically the playing field for a lot of video games was still very fresh. Now we have a million fighting games, and we have a million RPGs, but back then it wasn't quite like that. So when you did see a fighting game, made by the Japanese. It was a sight to behold, and you were just like, whoa. And I always loved the moment in this game. And I did pick it up. I was saying to Game Dave that day, I'm like, oh, god damn it. I gotta get the game. This is a really important game to me. And I was able to pick it up for around $80 on eBay, which is a steal and a half. And so I picked up the Japanese version because this is the cheaper one. I can't afford the American version at all. And I was just like, this game really means a lot to me. Walking into the arcade and playing the game and getting to the point where there's a bonus stage, just kind of like in Street Fighter where you'd beat up the car, where there's this kind of thing of clay or rock, and you smashing it, and you got to make it into a character just standing there. And I always thought that was really funny. And I came home and I would draw world heroes after that. I would always draw Hanzo and Fuma, and there was something about this game that was so awesome at the time. And this is a really important game that I was like, it's very rare for me to go and pick up retro games these days, because I'm like, I've said it before, I have everything, but I'm like, god damn it, I need World Heroes. I have World Heroes 2. As I've often said, everybody has a copy of World Heroes 2. I had to pick this up 100%. When it arrived, I was very, no pun intended because of this goddamn show, but I was very happy. Okay, something that is making my Nintendo Switch life a lot easier. I will make it a lot easier because I just ordered this. It just arrived about a week ago. And that is the D-pad attachment for the Nintendo Switch by Hori. Finally, and I'm going to unveil it here. I've been waiting for this for a while, and especially getting the online application for the Nintendo Switch, which I don't think is a great, robust set of features in there for, it's not an expensive price, but I don't think it's really that hot. But it comes with some games that I did want to play, and that was Zelda 1. And I just can't play Zelda 1 with an analog stick. I have to play it with a D-pad. And here's the D-pad. This just switches on, and I'm just going to give it a first go here. Feels great. Yeah, this is how I play Zelda. This is how I can play Zelda this way, but I don't know, the D-pad, I feel more in control. I'm more used to playing Zelda that way. So this just arrived. I had to order it from Play Asia, and I was like, I have to get this. I want this also for fighting games on the Switch. This is a huge thing. This is going to make my life so much more better playing some of those fighting games, because sometimes I'm like, the analog stick is just a little bit too loose in some of its commands and stuff like that. So very thrilled to pick this up. Now, this just arrived, and honestly, I didn't ask for it. I didn't, ask for it at all. And it showed up. It's called Gao Metal. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic wrap. This is by Xseed. Xseed sent it over. And I'm gonna play it later on and see if it's any good. What do you guys think of this game? Have you played it? What do you think? I don't know what to think really at this point. I'm just, So it's something of a rhythm game where you use the controllers to beat drums and stuff like that. So the concept sounds fascinating, but I really don't know anything about it. This kind of arrived. I'm like, what is this? So I kind of read a bit about it on the back, and I'll try this out later on for sure. Another thing arrived. I do have a lot of things that arrive with the show, and some of them are really big surprises. And I had my friend Barudi over, and I said, yeah, I just got this controller from Xbox. Canada sent it over. And I showed it to him like this, but this isn't the controller. This is not it. It came with this. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I'm like, PUBG? What's going on with this? So, okay, I will show it to you. This is a greaseproof controller. And he came over and he said, John, he goes, that's pretty rare because they only made like 200 of them. So I don't know why Xbox sent it to me, but I was happy to get it. And let's take it out here. I'll show you guys it up close. It's supposed to be a greaseproof controller. My hands are always a little greasy. Even right now they are because of the lights, and I get kind of warm here. The thing is they shouldn't limit this to 200. They should just make this for every controller. Every controller should be wireless and greaseproof. What a really unique thing. Honestly, my palms are sweaty right now. Yeah. I guess so. I guess so. I guess it just... Some nice colors on there as well. It looks pretty interesting. So that was a really weird item. And yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take it. Thanks. All right. This is an item from Limited Run Games. And this is a fascinating one. I was just in the other room, maybe around half an hour ago, testing all of this out 100%. And it's called the Pound, the high definition link cable for PS2. But here's this. It's also for PlayStation 1, so you can hook it into the back of your PlayStation 1. What this cable does, I'm going to take it out for you. You can hook it up to your PS1 or your PS2, and it attaches to your high definition TV through HDMI. That's why this item was very interesting to me, because right now I only have AV and S-Video and on the PS2 component out. So to be able to plug and play into my high-def TVs here is a must thing. It's at 720p. I got a few things to explain with this. It's not an expensive cable. It's not like that cable for the GameCube. That thing is like over $100+. That's an expensive cable. I think this is about $30. And so here's the cable itself. And it comes with a USB cable that you plug into the side, and it powers up. So you plug it in with the USB here, it powers the device, and you're good to go. Where there's a few things I have to explain here. I plugged in my PlayStation 1 Slim. I put on, what game was it? Police Knots. And I had it going, and I'm like, oh wow, it's starting, it's working. Oh good, yeah, this is happening. And then I'm like, wait a second, this is all widescreen. It's all widescreen. What you have to do, and this is a very important thing before you think about getting a cable like this. On your high definition TV, can you switch it to 4:3? That's important. When I did that, it made it the correct aspect ratio, and Police Knots look good. But when it stretched out, I was like, what's going on? And you can't change anything in the device itself. Okay, in the PS2, you have to go in, turn it to RGB mode, and then 4:3. And then you have to turn your TV to 4:3 as well. Just letting you know. These are some things you got to take into consideration, because if you just plug it in right away, it just goes automatic widescreen. You're like, what? So the only problem is, when I hooked up my capture device, it recorded it as widescreen. So take that into consideration as well if you want to record footage. So I can't show it to you how it looks on the TV. It's 4:3. It looks good. It's probably the best it's going to look running it straight through HDMI like that. I wasn't unhappy playing on the PS2. I played Xenosaga 3, and that was cool to play again. And you know, honestly, it's upscaling these games a little bit to 720, and it's doing the best it can. So it's a cheap cable. If you just want to plug in your PS2, you just change your TV to 4:3 and all that, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. But make sure your TV can do 4:3, or you'll be stuck in widescreen mode, and that'll be a little bit frustrating. Okay, these are very interesting items. I wrote to a company, and they're right here, Bitmap Books. I wrote to them a year or so ago. They create some books out of the UK, and they're amazing. I was checked out their website. I forget how I even came across these books. So I wrote to the company. I said, hey, listen, can you send some books in? Because I'd love to review them. And that was a year ago. And I never heard back to them. You have to understand with the show, I write to a lot of companies because there's a lot of things I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to show or to review or to look at. And they never got back to me. And I was like, oh, okay, too bad, type of thing. And then out of the blue, maybe a couple of months ago, they wrote to me and they're like, hey, you know, like, are you interested in any of our books? Would you like to send some out for review? I said, I wrote to you guys about a year ago. They're like, did you? We never got any email. So maybe I emailed the wrong person, or I got something wrong, or something, you know, miscommunication or what. So they said, is there anything you're interested in? And I said, well, actually, yeah, the Neo Geo, like a visual history book, and the Super Famicom, the box art collection. These books look incredible. They really, really do. So they arrived, and, you know, I get really, really busy. But one night I was like, okay, I'm going to have a look at these books. And this is maybe around 2 weeks ago. And so I picked up the Neo Geo book right here, first of all. It's the front, here's the back, here's the side. These are big, heavy books. This is a really sturdy book. And I started flipping through this book. And let me say this, I have a few official Neo Geo books that just show some of the artwork and all that kind of stuff. This, I can honestly say, is the greatest Neo Geo book I have ever seen in my life. And as you know, I started off the episode talking about World Heroes. I'm a huge Neo Geo fan. The nostalgic ride I went on, and I'm going to flip right here, and I'm going to show you the attention and love to the original material of the Neo Geo is second to none. It's second to none. Close-ups of the arcade. Look at this here. History buffs will love this. Look at that. What it looked like in the arcades when I was there. When I was 16 years old, I walked in the arcade and I saw the Neo Geo for the first time. And they do it's a real artistic look at the carts, the AES home system, close-ups, what the big carts look like, in case anybody's never had it, the packaging, this, look at this, the chipsets within the games themselves, there we go, the CD units and controller. I just was in awe of this. And then look at this, all of the Neo Geo box art, all of it. Gorgeous looking stuff. And I think a lot of Neo Geo collectors will say this, that, who have complete collections, that it's really about the artwork as well. The games are awesome. The games are great arcade games. But look at the artwork here. Every single piece was you could frame these. Each single one of these games you could frame and put it up on the wall. Oh, just awesome. And then all the Neo Geo Pocket stuff. And then we get into, look at this. Early works. There we go. We got Duck King there. We got Terry Bogard there. Original concepts that even I have never seen. I gotta say a few Neo Geo books. And then we go Samurai Showdown and the pixel arts. An entire second. Look at this. There's baseball stars right there. Look at this. So amazing. The Super Spy was showing there a second ago. Burning Fights and Fatal Fury and all the backgrounds there. This is from Fatal Fury. I got all this stuff memorized, folks, because I loved all these games. Then we're into my favorite. Look at this. World Motherfucking Heroes. So gorgeous. Art of Fighting. I can look at any single image. Art of Fighting 2 right there, the background. And Andy Garcia's stage. And we get King of Fighters 94. So the list just goes on and on. Metal Slug, all the backgrounds. Anyways, you can see that I'm really taken back by this book. I want to thank these guys for sending this over. And I will put a link down below. And this is great stuff. Bitmap Books. Bitmap Books. I'll put a link down below so you can check them out. Next, we get to the Super Famicom, the box art collection, which is all of the box art for the Super Famicom. Every single game. And I'll flip you through some of this here. Get some of the Super Famicom artwork there, and then we just start flipping. We got some ActRaiser going on. We got some Dracula X. Aliens vs. Predator. Wait a second. Oh, wow. I've never seen that box art for Alien vs. Predator. That's pretty cool. Oh, Appleseed. One of my favorite mangas from back in the day. Area 88 going on over here. Yeah, and each one has a really nice little write-up beside it. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, as I was just saying with the Neo Geo book, it's the nostalgia of the artwork of a certain time period. And the artwork here is just extraordinary. Just extraordinary. And look how much there is. Look how many games they made back then. Look at this. Incredible. We got some Secret of Mana going on over there. Really, really nice. Yeah, very fantastic stuff. As I say, I will put a link below if you're interested in these style of books. I can't recommend them enough. I think they're unbelievable. Okay, we're going to look at a few more things here. Let's get this out of the way. Let's do this. This is the Soul Calibur Collector's Edition. And Bandai Namco sent this over. I want to thank them for this. I've been playing the game all afternoon, and I've been trying to do a bit of catch-up on it because I didn't get this at release date, and I really want to try to review it, but that didn't quite happen that way. There's a couple of things I want to show. Obviously, it comes with the game. It comes with the game, and I've really been enjoying the game. What do I like about the game? I like the character creation a hell of a lot. That's something I liked with the past Soul Calibur games. And so I've been having a bit of fun in there. You make your own character. You can go through the whole story mode and just build up your character. Earn money and stuff like that. So I was enjoying that. But for me, and I'm saying this very honestly, is that Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast was such an important game to me. And my friend Rob and my friend Aaron, we loved that game. We played it every single day. And then after that, they started releasing another Soul Calibur, then another one. And then it just got a little too much for me after a while. It got a little too much for me. And I'm so happy we've had a bit of a break. I think Soul Calibur is a series that is a pillar that should always be there in gaming, but not every couple of years. It should be every 5 to 6 years. So when a Soul Calibur comes out, it's an event again. And I think there was just a little too much Soul Calibur going on in the past, and we've had a nice break. And I've actually got excited about Soul Calibur again. Even using the character from The Witcher, I was like, oh my god, I forgot this is in this game. And I was like, that's really, really awesome. So playing the game, I'm really liking it. Revisiting old characters I haven't seen before. It's a visual powerhouse. It's a really good looking fighting game. It's one of the best fighting games of the year. That is for sure. And I'm just going to show a few things before I get to a really funny thing. It comes with the art of Soul Calibur VI. And there's a lot of artwork going on in there. A lot of the characters. Really nice. Really nice stuff. Okay, this bit had me and Kim completely fooled for a while. We didn't know what it was. The box was talking. And I couldn't figure out how this box was talking. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, where's it talking from? Is it the side? Is it... What's happening? It just, every time I moved it, it made a sound. I finally figured out what it was. So the game comes with a steelbook. Oh wow, that's a cool steelbook, right? That looks pretty neat. You open that up. Comes with the soundtrack as well. Okay. I missed this. This is great. Right here, we have a button. Listen, I'll put this right to the speaker.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
It has a button that plays out of this speaker right here. This is so bizarre. Let's play that again.
The legend will never die.
I was like, I've seen a lot of special editions in my time. I've seen a lot of interesting steelbooks as well, glossy covers and all that, embossed covers, but this takes the cake. This was a weird thing. So it kept hitting the side of the statue that's in here.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
That's too funny. It reminds me of when we were playing Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. I've told this story before, but I talked to my friend. I'm like, this is so funny. I'm going to tell the story again on the show. Is that my friend during that time, Aaron, would come over and he'd always steal my cereal. Always steal my cereal. And how he kind of took the edge off him doing that, he'd make a joke so I couldn't get angry at him. Because he'd be on the second bowl of cereal. So he'd be on my second bowl of my cereal. And I'm like, what the hell, are you eating my cereal again? And he'd always say, this cereal strengthens the soul of Aaron Connell. And it was a really funny joke that we had. And he still uses that joke to this day. And every time I hear the announcer for Soul Calibur, it always takes me back to that story, which is just too funny. All right. We have to open this up. I've opened this up the other day for myself. I'm going to open it up here. This is the character, Sophita. We're going to I did not say Sophitas. I said Sophita. I'm gonna open this up. There we go. Okay, put that here. And really nice looking character. Really, really nice stuff here. Really, really detailed. And then you just put the sword in right over here, and there's your character going on. Very nice stuff. So yeah, the one thing that I am going to do is play a lot more Soul Calibur. Because I have not played enough of it. I have not played enough of it. I've scratched the surface for sure. Yes, I know. Another special edition arrived. Again, this is from NIS. I didn't ask for this. It just showed up. I thought, okay, we'll try this out. This is Disgaea 1, the complete. This is a remake of Disgaea 1 that came out on the PS2 so many years ago. It's a strategy game that's really in-depth. Like, I can't tell you. This one's supposedly a lot easier, but the original games were so... The micromanaging of characters and stats and weapons and items was off the chart. I have a friend of mine that is obsessed with this game. Is obsessed with this game. He loves Disgaea. I've been kind of somebody who's casually played it. I'm not hardcore into the series at all, but I do appreciate the character designs. I appreciate what it is for sure. So first of all, it comes with a little printy here going on. Little stuffed creature, that little stuffed penguin. And then it comes with this, the printy set here. And this is for, these are coasters, I believe. So you got a bunch of different coasters happening in there. Pink, we should have a green. There we go. All the different colors happening in here. And what is this? This is, here we go. This is the original soundtrack. Now, I hear that they've taken some of the play mechanics of 5, or some of the systems of 5, and brought it into this. This is almost like an anniversary game celebrating the original game. So all the visuals have been updated and all that stuff. So pretty cool. Here's the game. This is the PS4 game. I believe it's on Nintendo Switch as well. And here's the last thing going on here. We shall open this up. Take some of this out, and to begin with, we have a small art book, and this is showing some of the characters from the game. We got Prinny going on in the beginning here, and then our main characters happening. Yeah, there's a lot of characters, there's a lot of customization, there's a lot to do. This is a crazy game for anybody who loves micromanaging your stats and characters. You're in heaven. You're already probably playing this game for sure. So it comes with a whole bunch of posters happening, and this is really neat too. This is all the pin set, front and back, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity right here. So pretty neat. It just kind of showed up. I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot this game was even coming out. My backlog is getting so ridiculous. I don't even know if I can even handle it all. It's a lot to take in for sure. But I have been taking my time watching some anime. We finally got to the anime section. I said that there would be. And there's some really interesting animes to talk about here. Okay, I talked about this last month, how I was looking forward to it, and that is Zillion. And I'm going to talk about Zillion in the future some more, but this is the anime version. It's being brought over by Funimation. It's never been brought into this country before. 31 episodes. I'm 13 episodes in. I'm trying to watch one episode a day. And how is this? The weird thing is back in 1989, I used to collect New Type magazines, which were the anime magazines. That's how you got your information back then, before the internet. So what I would do is, they had posters and all sorts of things for this show called Zillion. And I didn't really know what it was. And my room was full of Zillion posters. I knew all the characters, and I thought this was going to be some incredible show. I couldn't wait to see it, and it never got brought out over here. It got brought, I think there was some dub versions of the first few, and I never got a chance to see that back in the day on VHS. So I've been sitting watching the show. What do I think so far? It's okay. It's not bad. It's more of a Japanese animation American show than I've ever seen before. What a weird thing to say, right? It just is so formulaic. It's the same thing every episode. Like the old He-Mans used to be. Like the old kind of G.I. Joes used to be. You know, he used to be like in G.I. Joe. Cobra would do something. G.I. Joe would win. And that's how the story, like each episode would happen. And that's how all this happens. It takes place in the future. We colonize another planet. I think it's called Mars. And the planet has been colonized by humans. But there's an alien race that is attacking it. And from out of nowhere, nobody knows where these things are from, 3 guns show up called the Zillion guns to protect mankind. So the mankind can use these guns on the aliens and just atomize them off the planet right away. And they give it to 3 kind of immature kids to use. That's what's so ridiculous. And so every episode, the aliens attack, the kids use the Zillion guns. That's what's going on here, pretty much. But I'm only 13 episodes in. Maybe things will change. Okay, last month I talked about Megazone and how I got this. I finally got Megazone on Blu-ray. Okay, we get to some, and I know a lot of people wrote to me saying, "Oh my God, I want to try to get that Blu-ray. It seems to be sold out online." Blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to get. And I'm only saying that because I got sent so many messages and I didn't know what to do because it's funny. I forget that thousands of people watch these episodes. I forget that. It just feels like me and a few of you out there are watching this, and I forget that so many people are watching. What happened is, yes, I ordered that Blu-ray, and I guess the person who makes it online, who puts it up on eBay, only makes like 3 of them. So all 3 instantaneously sold out, and then I don't know if the person's restocked or what. Where I started searching days afterwards to see if I could find any more for people that were asking me if there's any more out there. Where I came across another different Megazone Blu-ray package. And in the write-up, this was weird. He said, "Hey, somebody's been stealing my original discs and ripping them at lower resolutions and putting them into their own Blu-ray collections of 2 or 3. This is one, 2, 3, 4. No, like in 3 Blu-rays. So that version that I originally bought was 3 Blu-rays. There was no extras. It was just the Megazone 1, 2, and 3. And so that was really cool. And it looks good. Let me tell you, for anybody who bought it, it still looks good. It's great. But this person's saying that his version is the best version of Megazone that you can buy online. And let me tell you something. I agree. It's 4 Blu-rays, this. So each OVA has its own disc. And it's higher resolution, supposedly. This was news to me. And because it's very subtle. It's very subtle. But the 4th disc is the most interesting one. And I got a small tear. I did get a small tear because I know so many people watching this have never watched Megazone. They're like, I don't get it. Why this means such a big deal to you? It does, because in the 4th disc and all the extras, there's a lot of really interesting extras. There's like the actual music videos of the female singer who sings all the Megazone songs, which was kind of neat to see. They're rudimentary and very old school music videos from Japan. They're really, really not good, but it's interesting to see. But what's amazing on here, and it said that the English version of Part 2 was on here, so I was like, hooray! But it's the new English dub that was on the DVDs, and I was like, no. Because I love the original, I believe it's like the Harmony Gold dub. Okay, this is a weird history lesson. Back in it must have been like 1986, 87, 88. There was a dub done on the original Megazone Part 2, but only used in Japan on a Laserdisc. That was sent out to teach English to Japanese students. I know. This is a weird history lesson. You couldn't get it over here. You could only get it if you were part of a club and they had that Laserdisc over there and recorded it for you. That was the only way to get it. Or maybe there was even a VHS copy back then. I only know of a Laserdisc copy. And so when I originally saw part 2 in 1989, that is the dub that I saw. And it has Japanese subtitles built in. They're hardwired in, you can't get rid of them. They're on the screen, they were on my screen of my beta copy from back then. And I didn't ever think I'd see a good looking version of that. I almost bought the Laserdisc nearly a month ago because I'm like, that's going to be the only way I'll get a good copy of it. And the Laserdisc is expensive as hell. I was like, fuck. Megazone does mean that much to me that I really... That's why I bought the goddamn 2 Blu-rays of it now to try to get it right. And so if you see this cover, this is the version, if you're looking for Megazone, that you must buy. If you like Megazone, this is the one you must buy. I couldn't believe that it's a high definition version of that dub. And I sat and I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard this since the 90s. We're talking nearly 20 plus years ago. And I sat and watched the whole thing again, and it was pretty cool. Like, where they call the main character, was it Jonathan Winters? Oh my god, it's so bad. Anyways, enough about that. Sorry, I got on a tangent. I wanted to really talk about that. Really important to me. I said I was going to get it last month. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. These are Blu-ray box sets. Here's the third one. Here's the fourth one. What I hold in my hands right here in all these box sets for the very first time ever, and I know it's counterfeited, and I don't give a shit. They're all Blu-ray high definition versions with English subtitles. This is the very first time ever that we have the entire Macross series, I mean everything, on Blu-ray. Wow. So we're talking, you gotta wait for it here. Macross, the original TV show, 1982. Macross, the movie, 1984. Macross Flashback, I think 1987. That was the OVA. And then Macross 2, Macross 0, Macross Plus, Macross Plus the movie, Macross Frontier, Macross Frontier the movies, everything. Macross 7, sorry, it was before that. Macross 7 the OVAs, Macross 7 the movies, all of that. Am I forgetting any? Every single version of Macross, even including, and I've never watched it, I've been dead against it, Delta. Even Delta is on here. I'm gonna watch them. I've already went through the discs to check that they all worked, and they do, which is nice. Just know Macross Flashback is still standard definition. They've never remastered it. I have the original Blu-rays from Japan. It's always been that way. I really wish, of all the things I would love remastered, Flashback is what I would like remastered the most. But it's fascinating, my god, to be able to pick up Macross Frontier, pop it in, and watch it with subtitles in high def. The same to do with Macross 7, and I don't like Macross 7. I'm not a fan of it. Even to do with Macross 2, and I'm not a fan of Macross 2. Completion's sake, I finally have Macross. We've asked Harmony Gold for this for years, and they never delivered. So, you know what? You got to take matters into your own hand. I'm not going to wait around for them to get their act together, because I think Macross rights go back in, what is it, 2020? 2021 maybe? Somewhere in there, go back to the Japanese holders, and Harmony Gold has no rights to Macross anymore. Thank God. Because they've stopped this stuff coming into this country all of these years. Sorry for the rant. I've always been frustrated. I know Macross Plus got in, and I know Macross 2 got in, but does anybody have a lot of that on DVD and on Blu-ray? No, not so much. Definitely not so much. I know we have the Macross Plus on DVD, but that's about it. And all the rest has been stopped. We've never got Macross the movie ever. I know there's a lot of legal rights in that movie, but guys, I'm getting out of here. I've been doing this episode for a while now. I just wanted to talk about that last little bit. Maybe I made the episode into a little bit more 30% anime in there just because I stretched it out by talking about it. But I thought a lot of that stuff was very fascinating. And I know a lot of people really love anime. And they're interested in this kind of stuff. So that's why I had to talk about it today. So anyways, guys, until next time.